Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. EQOA Nostalgia here, and today I want to talk to you guys about XP rates. And this is something that's bound to piss off some people. That's just the way it is. When you talk about XP and what you think it should be and what other people think it should be, you're just going to have a divide. Some people want us to level quicker. Other people want things to be slower. I tend to be in the latter camp, and I have a few reasons for that. But when it comes to Sandstorm, as it is right now, my opinion differs from what I want when it's complete, when it's finished. Right now, I feel like if the XP was increased, it wouldn't bother me at all. Because that way I get to test out as many different ults as I want. I get to, just experience different builds. I think this is a good time for people to, once things get ironed out maybe a little bit more, start creating builds online and stuff like that so people can copy and paste all the meta nerds out there. The people who min-max and, they really crunch the math on everything. I admit I did that with Wolf Moon back in the day. I looked up a wilding guide and I followed it, and Wolf was a badass because of it. And I'm not too proud to copy somebody else's build. It doesn't bother me. If they sit there with a little calculator and they figure out how to get every little bit out of every single point, I'm not going to shy away from that. So I think that right now on Sandstorm, my personal opinion, I'm not like trying to get the devs to change things because I have more, my voice is worth more than others. I don't feel that way at all. But personally, to give you my opinion, I think it should be faster on Sandstorm for now. Later on, though, when the game is out proper, I don't think it should be. And I have a few reasons for that. Now, just real quick, I want to give a shout out to Electric here. My dude hooked me up with the Shield of Piety, this shield right here. Some of you probably noticed. I haven't seen this shield in forever, man. It's been a long time. And I posted in the Discord, hey, has anybody seen this shield? I don't think it's in the game yet, but sure enough, there it is. And I'm pretty sure this is the last shield I had on my character. I know there were other ones with different names, but, well, this one's mine.
Pray! This is my rifle. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
I gotta throw those movie references into pretty much every video, right? That's just kind of how it goes. All right, I decided to move the conversation to Surefall Glade. It's just a real chill spot. You know what I mean? I like it over here. XP was brutally slow. That's just the way that it was. And then they came out with the luck. I can't remember when the luck came out. Somebody tell me down in the comment section, please. Get down there, let me know. I think it came out before Frontiers, where you had to get Shadis O'Yardle's pants because he got drunk the night before and he lost his pants, and the luck was in his pants or something like that. But which you can take that into many different interpretations. Now that I sit here and really think about it. But yeah, the luck was in his pants, okay? And we got the luck. And it sped things up a decent bit. I think if you died, you lost it, though. But you got a certain amount of charges, and you could do the quest over and over for like the whole month of March or something like that. It was part of St. Patrick's Day. And then they brought it out a couple times a year or something like that. And I didn't mind that. I should also mention that we had XP pots, I believe, in Anu Village. Dang, dude, Razzer's on day 15 trying to get infected with Lionware. That's brutal. Yeah, that's brutal. That's for something that's going to get wiped, I think I'd let that go, man. But, yeah, we're in Kinos, in case you didn't notice. The magic of editing. I decided to move it over here. But, yeah, we had XP pots, I'm pretty sure. And that was nice. But then Boon came along after I was gone. And I remember thinking to myself, because people would be like, oh, yeah, I had 5 or 6 level 60s on Castle Lightwolf, and it blew me away. I remember thinking, wow, how did you do that? Because in my mind, it was still extremely slow. But no, it had changed. Boon came into the game, and people were leveling insanely fast. Why do I not want to see Boon in this game? Well, it's pretty simple. Because EQOA is not about the destination, it's about the journey. Alright? And yes, I turned around and looked at the road to give you that visual reinforcement that EQOA was all about what's down the road and headed towards the road. Right? It's about being on that journey. And some people didn't like taking that journey, I guess. Well, to those people, I would say that EQOA might not be your game. And this is where some people are going to get pissed off, because it's going to sound like I'm gatekeeping. And yeah, I guess I am kind of gatekeeping. For many years, folks, I missed the grind that was EQOA. I had all these other MMOs to play through, and it just wasn't as satisfying. And it wasn't just because it was my first MMORPG. It was just a perfect mix of chill and hardcore. Like, if you go and play EverQuest 1, right, the combat's really slow. There's a lot of downtime in between, and it just feels, I don't know, it just didn't feel as good. Like, as soon as you cast in this game, boom. There's not like a fizzle. You don't miss in your melee for like the first 10, 20 levels. And things like that, which I think that's fine. That's cool. That kind of gameplay's fun. I enjoy that with Monsters and Memories. I do wish Monsters and Memories was closer to EQOA, but I digress. The point being is that these older MMOs were all about the journey, not the destination. And EQOA has a very limited amount of content. We don't have 10 expansions, folks. You're not going to get to the end game and then, oh man, I get to do this and then that and this and the other thing. You're going to get to end game and all you have to do left is grind out CMs and do some raids and you're done. That's it. You can go to Otis. We got Otis. And that's kind of a blessing. You know, you can think of that as a curse, but it's kind of a blessing because if you take a look at EverQuest 1, EverQuest 2, World of Warcraft, the vanilla game is just watered down into this, I don't even know, they just speed you through it to get you to the end game, and you can buy a level boost straight to like level 80 or whatever and skip right over all of it. EQOA remained pure to its vanilla content because, well, that's really all that we had. And because of that, the old world is still special. Now they have time-locked progression servers so that people can get back to that original core vanilla EverQuest, the core of Norath again, and people love it. They love it more than anything else. They want to go through that beginning experience again with people over and over again. They want to experience the rush of all these halflings running around Rivervale. They want to run through, you know, Facespire with all their, I think it was called, I can't remember what they called it in EverQuest. I'm blanking. But, you know what I'm talking about. They wanted all the newbies to be in their starting cities. Surefall Glade, Kinos, etc. All the trolls are down in Grob. All the ogres are in Agok. And that felt really good. So they seek that out. That's what time-locked progression is really all about. You go through it, but the most exciting point is when everybody's starting off fresh. Because it makes the old world content feel alive again. Season of Discovery, World of Warcraft, same thing. People went back to what made the original game so interesting. Those vanilla zones were awesome.
The experience of playing Classic WoW is like none other, and I'm sure many of you agree. The game is widely considered a masterpiece, and almost 20 years later, the original classic version is still going strong. Today though, I want to explore one specific region of the map that encompasses that classic feel, with spectacular questing and a story that draws you into this fantasy realm. The human level 1 to 30 starting experience. 4 zones, 4 very different types of atmosphere and conflict, each building toward a satisfying conclusion that sees players uncovering plots and eventually reaching level 30. This part of the game is my absolute favorite. And this video does include my own opinions, but maybe by the end of it, you'll see what makes these 4 zones, collectively, the greatest adventure in WoW history.
You know, everything around Stormwind, Elwyn Forest, all the quest lines out there. I'm glad I did Season of Discovery because I was able to see how awesome it was out in the human starting areas and all of the quests that lead up like to what was it, Darkwood? Duskwood. Sorry, I think it was Duskwood. And you go through and you see stitches and like all this crazy stuff, you know, all these cool stories going on. Same thing with Classic. Before Season of Discovery, they had Classic. Why? Because the old world content means a lot to people. And if you're one of those people who just wants to sprint through the old world content so you can go to doing your raids, you're going to wash out in 2 or 3 months. I really think that the majority of people who are thinking that way, they're going to get their fill and they're going to be gone, and then the server is going to be pretty much dead. That's personally what I believe. Now, what irritated me and kind of got me a little fired up is when I hopped into the Discord earlier today and I was reading from people who were complaining, and the way that they're doing it. First of all, the onus is on you if you want to change the game. It's not on me. I don't want to change the game. I want the game to remain pure. And some people might say, well, Boon was in the game. Well, yeah, Boon was in the game, but why was Boon in the game? Somebody said, well, Boon was in the game because people got tired of grinding. No. Boon was in the game because everybody was at end game. And anybody who started the game, there was nobody there for them to group with. So people would get the game, they'd play for their 30 days, and they wouldn't sub. Why? Because they started in a huge town like this, or in Narak or somewhere else, and there was nobody around to help them do their coach runs. There was nobody around to help them level up. So they introduced Boon. They didn't introduce Boon because you were tired of grinding. They introduced it so that people could get up to where the rest of the population was, and they could actually enjoy themselves by playing the game socially, the way that it's meant to be played. Now, right now, we're not really doing that because things they're tuned down. They're not as brutal as they used to be. I came over here looking for the porter, but I'm pretty sure there used to be a porter out here. And all the starting cities have a porter, and he would teleport you to, I think, Freeport or something. So it was just easier for you to get around other people and to ask for help. We didn't have a global chat either. When you shouted, it wasn't global, it was just in this zone. And honestly, I'm looking forward to going back to that because chat can get a little spicy. I don't know if many of you spent time in World of Warcraft's trade chat, but sometimes it looks like trade chat over here in EQOA. And I gotta mute the shouts. It's just like, people, really? Really? That's why I try not to argue with folks over here. But sometimes, you get passionate about the way you feel about things, and it can be like that.
I mean, if that's the group claiming we're kill stealing, then they're wrong. Like, this is just a different camp.
Oh.
I don't think it is, though.
I hope they don't feel that.
Somebody came in my chat and said we kill steal 3 times. I don't know what they're talking about.
Is it an MMO if there's not drama? I mean, really.
Yeah, it's true.
I've never been in an MMO without some sort
It's
of...
not a good MMO if people don't get, a little uptight about certain things, because that means you're not invested and you just don't care. You know?
And it means the struggle's not real enough for you.
The struggle's not real enough, that's right.
I used to get so pissed when I died in EQA, the missus would just laugh. I'd get so mad. It's like, that's debt, damn it, I don't got time. I get a little strung up when I was younger, man.
Yeah, that's my life.
Me too. Oh, yeah, I broke keyboards.
Yelling at the TV isn't solving your problem. Why do you keep yelling at a TV that can't hear what you're saying? Yeah, you're right.
What do we got here? We got a necklace that's pretty dang nice. 4 AC.
Are you guys really going to be that way, Velith? We'll leave if you're going to really be that like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys got all those camps over there. We're
Does anybody want this necklace?
If you want to be a baby about it, we'll leave. It's fine. It's fine. You can have the whole camp. How about that? We'll just go somewhere else. It's cool.
Yeah, I'm sure we can find more tents.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be like that. That's cool. We'll go to another tent. You're cool. You guys have the whole place then.
I didn't even see him, dude.
All right, move out, guys. We got some babies. Let's move on.
But yeah, when the game is out proper, I expect things to feel vanilla. Over time, if they add in stuff like Boon, like months later, I can understand that to some degree. But at the same time, people are just going to burn out. The faster you make this experience, there's not a lot here. I know I'm like retreading over trodden ground now, repeating myself, but there's not a lot in EQOA. There is, but there isn't, right? It's not like some game that has 10, 15 plus expansions where you just move on to the next stuff and then you're ready to do this and ready to do that. We have CMs, raids, and that's about it.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Yeah. That's it. After that, you're pretty much over it, and you're probably going to move on to something else, which is why I think that custom content is pretty cool later on. Later down the line, maybe give us a way to create new races. And I was talking about this with people. It doesn't look like they're gonna be able to create races that you start off as in the menu, because that stuff doesn't exist. But maybe you could pick up a quest, and then after you're done with the quest line, now you can be a ratware or a froglog, something like that. That would be cool to see stuff like that come into the game, because like I said, people did get bored with this game. I was one of them. That's part of the reason why I quit, y'all, because there was only so much to do. And we lost a large chunk of our population after World of Warcraft. I remember sitting on LFG for hours, not being able to find a group, and that stinks. So yeah, stuff like Boon made more sense when the game was dead. But when the game launches, I'm hoping it's not going to feel dead. I'm hoping there's enough people here where we can group up and go through the content at the old pace that we used to. If it's sped up a little bit, all right, fine. You know, whatever. But Boon, where you're hauling ass, no, I really don't want to see that. Personally, I don't want to see that. And there's people, like I said in the Discord, saying, "Well, I'm an adult now. I don't have time. I've got a family." Okay, I was an adult when this game came out. Hi, nice to meet you. I was 20. I had a job. Sometimes I put in 50, 60 hours at that job, doing overtime. And it took me 9 months to get to level 50, just before Frontiers came out. I remember doing 40-hour grind with Mrs. Nostalgia. We busted our asses at Elephant Graveyard to get to 50 just before Frontiers dropped. And, you know, it felt really good when I did. Was I able to dedicate as much time into it as other people who didn't have those responsibilities? No. But is it really fair for me to say, well, I have to work and I've got a business and I've got kids, so therefore the whole game should be catered to me so that it goes faster for me because I don't have time anymore? No, I don't think that's fair. I think that there's other games for you to go and play. And those other games have been out this entire time, and none of them have satisfied me the way that EQOA has. And I'm going to be making a video talking about why I think that is. It's not just about the XP rates and the community and everything. This game had just a perfect mix, man. Like I said, it had the perfect mix of what made EverQuest 1 fun and social, but it cut out all the fat. At least that's the way I see it. That might offend some EverQuest 1 fans. But it cut out all the bullshit. You didn't have to hail an NPC. You didn't have to, you know, use these mud commands to talk and do quests and all that. You didn't have to sit down for 10 minutes while you med. It cut all of that out of there. The combat felt snappier. I remember going to Final Fantasy XI and the combat felt so slow to me. I settled into it after a while, and I think that is enjoyable in its own right. You know, some people like that old school turn-based feel that Final Fantasy XI kind of embodied. But EverQuest just had more of a snappy feel to it. But at the same time, it had consequences. You didn't have to go get your corpse, right? But well, I don't want to get into this too much because I'm not leaving anything for the other video. But you get my point. EQOA is something that I don't think it needs to be modernized. If they added custom content to it later, new raids or new zones somehow by the wizardry of programming, they were able to give us different things to do and whatnot. I'm not opposed to that whatsoever. I think that's pretty cool. As long as it feels like it belongs in the game, like it feels like something that the devs would have naturally done anyway, had Sony not pulled all the funding from the game and decided that they were just going to let it slowly die. I still feel some animosity towards them for that. But at the same time, none of us would be here if they didn't create the game either. So I'm kind of conflicted about how I feel about Smedley and all those guys not giving us the rights to buy it or whatever and not continuing it. At the end of the day, it was a business. But we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them, really. If you stop and think about it. Did they mishandle it? Yeah, they mishandled all their properties. Look at Star Wars Galaxies, for example. They ruined their own lands. Isn't that something that EverQuest 1, I think the Kinosians said to the Knolls, you ruined your own lands, you're not going to ruin ours. Well, Sony did a very good job at creating awesome MMOs and then just driving them into the dirt. But to be fair to them, MMOs are very hard to maintain. It's rare that a game goes on as long as World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy XIV. I think a lot of MMOs just fizzle out and they're gone. So it's just something that's hard to retain. But yeah, anyways, I digress. The point being is I don't think we should be trying to mold this game into a more modern experience where you level super fast. At least not out of the gate. When it's back and it's live again, quote unquote, back to as accurate as we can get it anyways, I don't want to see people flying through it. Right now on Sandstorm, if we go faster, I'm not opposed to that. I think that's actually a wise move. And I stated the reasons for that in the beginning of the video. But yeah, I'm going to turn it over to you guys now. I want to hear from you down in the comments section. Let me know if you enjoyed this video. Please hit that like button. If you're new here, I ask that you please subscribe. Hit the notification bell. God bless, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video.